Hi everybody, this is Simon Ward of the Triathlon Coach, and more importantly for you, I'm your official half outlaw coach. So, on the board behind me are some instructions for you, because as you will see from the title, you have less than 3 weeks to go now. If you've been concentrating, that shouldn't be a surprise to you, so apologies if it is a wake-up call. About 17 or 18 days until race day, but there's some important information for you that I'd like to share, which might help smooth out your final preparation. So let's have a look at the board and get going. Firstly, we'll cover training. With only 20 days to go, you're probably at the time where any last minute big training is going to be probably less than useful. It's probably going to add more fatigue than it is add more fitness. So you may want to consider how much big training you do. You've probably got 2 or 3 more days, and perhaps this weekend would mark the opportunity for your final big ride. I wouldn't bother about having such a big run, because with only 2 weeks, let's say if you did a big run on Sunday, with only 2 weeks to go until race day, you may not get all that fatigue out of your legs. So probably guard against doing anything more than 90 minutes. You could probably get away with a longer bike ride. If you wanted to prove to yourself that you could ride 56 miles, then maybe this weekend marks your last opportunity. So, last big ride this weekend. Anything after that is probably going to be pointless in terms of improving your fitness for race day. Open water swimming. Now this is something I would recommend, and where you can get some benefit. Again, your fitness probably isn't going to improve, but water is still pretty cold unless you're in the south of England, and so I would suggest that open water swimming is an opportunity for you, firstly, to get used to being in colder water. Hopefully it will warm up a bit in the next 2 weeks. Secondly, it prevents an opportunity for you to try on your wetsuit, make sure it still fits, get comfortable wearing that. And if you get the opportunity to swim with other people, then you can practice things like race starts amongst a group and a bit of sighting and navigating. So definitely open water swimming, but not every session. If you want fitness, do it in the pool where you can do a structured session, then use open water for getting some race specific skills. Okay, you can still practice transitions. There's not a real lot of effort needs to go into those, so it's not going to create any fatigue, but you can save yourself a minute or two with each transition. And if you are planning on using elastic bands to hold your shoes onto your pedals and keep them in the right place, or you're wanting to practice getting out of your wetsuit or getting your helmet on quickly, then that's something you really can be practicing just about every day. Next week I will be starting your taper. Have a few days of really easy training. If you do some hard training this weekend, have a few days of easy training, say Monday to Thursday, to get rid of any excess fatigue. Then do a little bit more training over the final weekend before Outlaw, and before easing off again. It's better to come into your event slightly underdone than overcooked, okay? Because if you're tired on race day, there's no way back from there. So come in feeling a little fresher and try not to do any panic training. I will have another video for you next week, so don't worry too much about that if that information isn't in here now. Now, aside from the training, there's some other stuff that you really must do, and you'll see here that it says, with stars, check race info. Ian, who's the race director, and Adam and I have discussed this, and we're alarmed and surprised by the number of people who turn up at races having not read the pre-race instructions. They will not be sent to you or emailed to you. You do have to go and find them on the website, and I've included the link below, and I would like you to copy that link and paste it into your browser box and go and get those instructions and read them thoroughly, because we always get people who don't know what time they should be turning up, what time race briefings are, how long the swim, bike or run is, what time the cut-offs are, even what time we start on the Sunday. Okay? It's not our job to know those things. It's our job to organise the race and make it available for you. It's your job to know about when things start and how long each discipline is. So please make sure you're aware of that. Other things you might want to do. Now's a good time to book your bike in for service. It's a time of year when a lot of people start cycling again, not just triathletes going to races, and so my bike shop has a 2-week waiting list. If you're only booking yours in now, that might be the Friday before you should be setting off for Nottingham. So get it booked in now, get it serviced, make sure cables are tension right and the chain's okay. Any last minute kit, I normally wouldn't advise you to be buying any kit now, but if you are going to buy some new running shoes, you've still got a little bit of time to run them in. If you want to put a new water bottle system on your bike, or buy a new saddle, or put some new wheels on, then at least get it done now, so you've got a couple of weeks. And finally, hopefully you've got your accommodation booked for the area around Home Pierpont, but just double check and make sure they've still got your booking. Make sure you know what time you're checking in. Plan your route out to get to Nottingham and make sure there's no roadworks planned, because that is the week after a bank holiday. Okay, so any roadworks that have been postponed for the bank holiday may well be started again, and you don't want to be stuck in a traffic jam when you're supposed to be registering. So hopefully you've got all of that stuff in place, your last minute training is all done, you're feeling great about the event, you've got no problems, and you're going to turn up on the weekend of the 30th and 31st of May in absolutely tip-top shape and ready for us to commentate and cheer you across the line, finishing like an absolute hero. So we'll see you there. If there's any questions, email them to me, simon@thetriathloncoach.com, and I'll do my best to help. But until then, enjoy your taper, and I'll be back next week with another video. Bye for now.